Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim, how they're pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the brother HWR from the GMS Toronto camp coming back at you with another one. You know, the time that we're getting, we're about to witness some, some crazy shit. I just have to say how it is. The time that we're approaching, what this devil is getting ready to do, with his whole new world order agenda, he's getting ready to, to really, um, kind of declare his new world order, and put forth his plans, which is all with which, at the end of the day, all aligns with prophecy. You know, um, Esau knows. Esau knows that his time to rule is it's just running out. It's running out. That's why he's gonna have to crash the market, or he's gonna come in with his MOTB, his New World Order system. Because he knows his time is short. Yahweh Shai is gonna return and deliver his elect out of here, because this devil wants to be the most high at the end of the day, and he wants to control everything. It's the just the way of life. It's it it's it sucks. It sucks. We sigh and cry. We even us, we be thinking this devil, is taking his sweet time, like hurry up and come on with, crashing the system and bringing forth your MOTB system, your New World Order. Like, hurry on with it. Faster this devil, comes down and showing his wrath, the quicker we can, get up out of here, Lord willing. Cause, we ain't as the hopeful elect, we ain't pleased with the way of life right now. Yes, you make the best of it, but it's it sucks. I find myself just meditating on that a lot this week. Just wanting the kingdom. Just meditating on the kingdom, and or wanting to reign with Yahweh Shai. But we know before this could happen, things are gonna get bad. Things are gonna go from bad to worse. Yes, things are hard right now. It ain't easy. It's an everyday struggle. But the things are gonna things are gonna magnify in terms of of just chaos. You know, um, You know, we're about to, you know, we live in we're gonna live in a time that you know, has never happened before. You know, this generation, you know, we are gonna witness the end. You know, we are gonna witness this devil come down with great wrath because he knows he has a short time, and he's gonna do it swiftly. He's gonna do it, you know, swiftly, but yet strategically. You know, just even I was watching even I was seeing a video on social media. It was just vexing of like all these products that Walmart was selling. You know, from you know, from produce to meats, and it was all like it's all like all some GMO stuff. You know, it wasn't even real. You know, bananas that were like rubber. The meat that was the meat, and it was like these meat and potatoes that was like a sponge. You know, this man is wicked. You know, this man is wicked, and you know that's the times. These are the times we're living in, where just everything is just vexing. You know, everything, uh, you know, just bothers our spirit. You know, because we see how wicked it is. You know, we see how defiled all this shit is. You know, that's not the point I want to get into, but you know, just to show you that, you know, what this devil's coming with. You know, and ultimately he's coming with his MOTB. You know, a lot of people see it. People in the world know what the MOTB is. You know, you have like these artists out here. I seen them, I seen these. I didn't watch it, but I heard about the brothers talking about it. Even one of the elders, you know, Ti, that rapper, knowing what the MOTB is. You know, but these leaders in Israel don't know what the MOTB is. You know, you know, the times that we're about to witness is it's gonna be crazy. This is Matthew 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. You know, and things are gonna get so bad that people are gonna be so willing to take that mark. They're gonna be begging Esau for that chip because of how bad things are gonna get. You know, imagine the grid goes down for a month, a month of a drought. You know, looting, chaos, murders. You know, perilous times. And then Esau comes with the solution. People are gonna be lining up for that. You know, and you know how we know that? Because with the CVID, people were told they couldn't do the simplest leisure activities. You know, and people lined up to take that juice. Imagine now, when everything goes down, when everything collapses, when the grid collapses. You know, you already see everything going digital. That's a fact. You gotta be blind to not see everything is going digital. Everything. You know? I seen another video today, you know, it's talking about like before the phones. That's what I'm saying. Esau, man, he is smart. You know? You know, with these phones, and you know, and I remember with these phones, you used to put the SD card in if you needed more memory, if you needed to you know, back up more stuff on your phone. You put the SD card in. Now you can't do it. Now you gotta pay for storage. You know, even something like that. You know, or all this streaming. You know, you don't own anything. You know, Esau has everyone in the mindset already that you don't own shit. You know, all these streaming services. You know, it's a fucking it's a delusion to you, like, to for people to be out here thinking that they own anything. You know, and you know that's why people are gonna go run and take that chip because they're gonna want to feel that sense of them owning something. You know, and that's what that chip is gonna bring. It's gonna bring financial stability. You know, it's gonna bring security, convenience. You know, oh, you don't take it, you a threat to society. You know, he's gonna be so smart in the way he brings forth this MOTB. He's gonna be very smart. You know, and that's why Yahweh Shai is gonna have to come back and cut this devil's time short and deliver us up out of here. Because the schemes that Esau is getting ready to to put forth in this place, people ain't ready for it. So Matthew 24 and 21, for then shall be a great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Because the time that we're getting ready, the time that we are going to witness is going to be a time like never before. The things we are going to have to go through, you know, and the things I mean, you know, us believers that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, the ones who put our faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the hopeful elect, we are going to have to go through we're going to have to go through that fire, you know. We're going to go through it, you know, because this is going to be a time like never before. Verse 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So it's going to be so bad out here, you know, that if it wasn't for the elect, you know, this devil would have his way. You know, this devil would done chip everybody. You know, done chip and kill off anybody who opposes to his chip. But for the elect's sake, you know, the Lord is going to cut that time short. The Lord is going to intervene. The Lord is going to make a way for us. He's going to make a way for his servants, you know? And this is something we got to believe. We got to believe. We can't lose hope. And we're going to be tested. We getting tested right now. Every day we getting tested. But what the Lord is getting us ready to endure is gonna be like it's gonna be like a test of no other. You know, all trickling down to that MOTB, that hour of temptation, because that's gonna be the ultimate test. You could do everything right now. You could be on point now. You could be on fire now. And go and take the MOTB, the mark of the beast, and fail. That's it. You could do it all right. You know? It's like in sports, you play a perfect match. You know? A perfect game. You know? But then, you know, miss the game-winning shot. And you lose. That's how it's gonna be like with this MOTB. You take that and you're done. You know, point blank period. And Esau's gonna make it so that people are just gonna be willingly take it because they're gonna be so desperate. You know, imagine not being able to eat or go to a grocery store and buy food for 2 weeks or a month. Your kids, your woman cussing you out because you can't put food on the table. You can't put gas in that whip. You can't even start the damn whip because all these whips is, controlled by a chip anyway. So Esau could just dead your car and it won't even start. This devil is strategic into the way he's gonna get people to go forth and take that chip. But we're gonna stand stiffly. We're gonna stand bold for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Lord willing, and make it to the end. Luke 21 and 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity in the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You know, you can just imagine the things that are going to be taking place. Civil war, riots, uproars, roadblocks, T attacks, EMP attacks. When these things start to happen here in the West, because over here in the North Americas, we got it good over here. Everyone's in that peace and safety. Stuff still happens, but not on a high scale. When these things start to happen, when these strange things start to happen, these things that never happened before, people are going to be in distress. People are going to be worried. People are going to be fearful. Damn, you had a tornado warning over here in the city. You don't get those in the city. Imagine a tornado ripping through downtown. Whether that's downtown Toronto, downtown Detroit, or a massive earthquake, seeing buildings being shook, all the glass, pestilence, these different plagues that are going to come upon the earth. People are going to be shook, When people get shook, they get more desperate. So, gotta really pray that Lord will have mercy upon us during this time that we are going to have to face. This is not like this is not like that bullshit they teach in the churches about the rapture. How the Lord just comes back, raptures his, takes his chosen ones in the sky, and then all hell breaks loose. For 7 years. Nah, we gonna go through this. We gonna go through the fire. We're gonna go through the tribulation. We ain't gonna escape it. There's no escaping the tribulation. There's no escaping the evils that are to come. And the only way we can escape it and bear it is through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Jeremiah 30:5. For thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not peace. Everything's real peaceful right now. Yes, there's wars, there's rumors of wars, but for the majority, it is very peaceful right now. You can casually walk down to the store. You can sit out in front of your home, and be all right. That time of fear is coming. Where all you're going to hear is aircrafts in the air, helicopters, drones, explosions. Those are the times that we're getting, that's that trembling fear. That's the times that we're going to be heading into, and Lord willing, it's soon, because faster we see the prophecies really start to jump out the page, and they jumping, but they're going to jump even more, that's a sign to us that the end is creeping up real quick. Verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And that's pointing back to the elect. It's going to be a terrible time, but the elect are going to be good. I was even, speaking with the Lord today, and I was just saying, you know, there's a lot of struggles, that the Lord will put us through now, but I just, kept telling myself, it'll all be worth it if I make it, it'll all be worth it. All this will be worth it as long as you endure and make it to the end, And it's, it's not easy. There's always something, I remember even saying in a lesson, I don't know what lesson it was, but when things will be moving so smooth. When things are moving too smooth, you start to get worried. Like this is a little too good to be true. Because something's coming. And I had that thought to myself whenever I had it. I was like, oh no, things are, you catch your head, but like, things are moving a little. It's too good right now. And then, you'll be tested. The faith will be tested. The patience will be tested. And you just gotta, endure through it again. And the Lord will make us go through these things to get us ready for Jacob's trouble. Because Jacob's trouble is gonna be no joke. Denying the MOTB is no joke. But we believe and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai that He's gonna feed us. During the time of Jacob's trouble, the MOTB. We have faith that the Lord is gonna protect us, keep us safe, guide us. While the world bows down to Esau and his system, we hold on to our faith. We hold on to Yahushai, our foundation, our rock, our rock, our anchor, in the midst of the storm and chaos that we're gonna have to go through. We're gonna have to face it. We don't know how we're gonna get you. We don't know the step. We don't know the play-by-play. We don't know the step-by-step of how we are gonna make it through Jacob's trouble. But as long as our faith is strong, as long as our patience can endure, we're gonna get through it. And you gotta believe that. You gotta believe it. Like it says, great day, a great time like never before. But you shall be saved out of it. Why? Because of the elect. If you're of the elect, you're going to be saved out of it. We put in this work now. Even the Lord the Lord will have mercy on our families. Families are going to go through it. Our children are going to have to go through it. That's how we do the work. That's why we fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. What end is it for you? The day of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is darkness and not light. And people don't understand how great this day is, you know, and what Jacob's trouble is gonna consist of, you know. Verse 19, as if a man flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned on his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him. That's what it's gonna be like in the time of Jacob's trouble, just constantly on the go. One thing after another. You can't even catch your breath. You can't even catch your breath. You know? That's what these times are gonna, the times that we're getting ready to enter is gonna be like this. You know? And if the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is with you, you're gonna crash out. You're gonna give in. You know? You're not gonna get to the hour of temptation. Because we're all gonna have to be faced with it. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And like I said earlier, Esau, this devil, is gonna know the way he's gonna come with this chip, this agenda, is gonna be strategic. You know? It's not gonna be like something it ain't gonna be like something we've never even seen before, even with the juice. You know, the way he's gonna be coming with this, he's gonna be scheming. He's gonna do it perfectly. You know, there's certain things that are gonna happen, so that when he's ready to bring forth this, you know, people are gonna be running for it. They're gonna be begging for it. You know, you're gonna look all around you and see people just taking it because of the dire straits they're gonna be in, because of how desperate, because of how crazy things are gonna be in this time of Jacob's trouble, the time of the end. You know, the time that Yahushua is getting ready to return. World War III, all these things, you know, are in that around that same time frame. You know, we're already seeing with this Bill C-9. You know, that famine is coming. A famine of the word. You know, that's a major prophecy. You know, we know the MOTB. We already hear wars, and we already hear war of rumors of wars. You know, we already know World War III is brewing up, and we know Esau wants to, come with his chip, his New World Order agenda, his 2030. You know, because that's the that's his date for his new agenda. You know, his New World Order is the 2030. You know, so like that first precept, he's gonna come down with great wrath. You know, 2030 is not that far away. You know, this is what year 2000. This year's damn near already done. You know, you're gonna blink and you're gonna be in a new year. You know, so-called new year. You know, so that's gonna do it for this. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the hopeful elect out there scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I pray this lesson was edifying. Lord willing, until the next one, Shalom.